Hello, how's everyone doing today? How we doing, guys? My name is Rai. I will be your teacher today. Hello. And today, I'm gonna teach you guys how to play Sova. I know Sova's pretty unpopular as far as most of the agents go. I know that people like to play flashier characters like Jet and Breach and stuff. So I'm here to tell you guys why I think Sova is probably one of the best characters in the meta at the moment. Hello. Nick, I see you're a big fan of Jet. Maybe we'll cover Jet at some other time. A lot of people think that Jet is unviable, but as a couple players, Cloud9 in particular, can attest that Jet is actually really good when you put him in the right hands. Hello, Khan, how you doing? Omen's not bad. What's up, guys? Good morning. Hope you guys are having a lovely quarantine morning. Well, quarantine afternoon, depending on where you're from. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Do I think Sova or Cypher is better on Haven? I think that both are really good. My team, personally, we play Cypher and Sova together. I'm gonna get into team compositions a little later in the video. But for now, we're just going to go over some of the basics for people that don't know how to play Sova at all. So, Sova is one of 10 agents that are available in the Valorant beta right now. He is classified as an initiator. And what that means is that basically, as you can see in the description, it says that you can challenge angles by setting up their team to enter contested ground and push defenders away. I'm sure you guys have probably felt sometimes a site is like on lock. It's really hard to get in. There's a lot of angles to clear. Especially when, you don't know how many people are there, and your team, sometimes your team might not be like backing you up when you try to enter in a site. So here's where Sova comes in play, right? Because you can create all these opportunities for yourself. So I'm gonna skip over Shock Bolt first. First we're gonna go into his Recon Bolt, which is his best ability. Like, it's his main ability. It's a 35-second cooldown after you fire it. There's 1, 2, or max charges. You can fire them anywhere over the map, and they basically give you X-ray vision, which is huge, right? Because in an attack shooter game, or just a shooter game like an FPS in general, like, knowing where people are, and especially like having temporary wall hacks, is really good, right? So being able to use Recon Bolts efficiently, like learning gimmicky spots like lineups and stuff like you do for CSGO, shooting arrows across the map and stuff. Jacob, I will be showing a few arrow spots off today on different maps. Like, these are really good, and taking the time to learn these arrow spots will just make you such a better Sova player and a really big asset to your team, right? And then another big ability that I always personally prioritize to buy is Owl Drone. So Owl Drone, basically, if you've played like any kind of, I don't know, if you have like an RC like helicopter kind of thing, right? Basically let you take control of a small Owl Drone that you can move around the map, and it has a limited range and time, and you can shoot a bolt that also gives you X-ray vision, right? So by using this, you can clear angles safely by sending your Owl Drone in first instead of a person walking in blind, right? That's really useful. And then your Q ability is a Shock Dart, so you can buy up to 2 charges, and basically what this does is that this shoots a little bolt that also you can choose how many times it ricochets, and it does quite a bit of damage if you can land it in the right spot. So this ability is harder to use because most of the time when you have like a lineup, if you know if somebody is in a corner and you want to pull out your Shock Dart, it's really difficult because sometimes you're gonna get caught with your pants down, right? Like, you're holding your Shock Dart and you're like pulling your bow back, and then he'll peek you and shoot you in the face, so timing that is really difficult. So I think that it's a harder ability to use, but it's still really good. Hello guys, after this live everybody will be a Sova main. I hope so, man. I feel like Sova's a criminally underplayed character. I feel like he's really good, and I'm here to show you why. And then his ultimate is Hunter's Fury. As you guys have probably felt this ult a few times before. This thing is crazy, right? You can shoot this thing through walls like across the map and get like information on where people are. You can also get free kills, right? It's really good. It's still used a lot in pro play. Most of the teams that I've played against personally in tournaments and in scrims, most teams run a Sova. I would say around 80% of teams run a Sova, and the other teams run like a variety of different characters. So I'll show you guys like some team comp variations a little bit later, but for now, let's just get into like how to use his abilities. We're gonna start off on Bind. We'll have cheats on. You like Omen? Omen is really fun too. I feel like Omen is also criminally underplayed. His smokes are really good because they're like there's a cooldown, right? There's a refresh on his smokes, so you can pretty much have smokes like the whole round, which is really good. Would you recommend using shock arrow with a ricochet to clear corners? Yes, absolutely. If you don't have your recon or your drone available, you should be trying to shoot shock arrows and things that you know like where people could possibly be, like in common corners, right? And especially on defense, if you want to use a shock dart, like if you hear people, like audio cues are really important. Like if you use your information, for example, if you use your information, say if you're a CT side,
my ult is ready.
On B site bind. Let me just show you an example, right? So let's just fly over to B site real quick. What rank am I? I'm ranked Valorant. I'm currently the highest rank right now. So, for example, right? If I was holding B side of Sova, which I usually do, right? So I'm playing B side of Sova. I'm hanging out here, and I want to know if there's anybody coming up B long. So what I would usually do, like just the basics, right? I would use my recon arrow and I would shoot it down long and try to find out where people are. Now you see that the configuration of this little corridor here, there's, you know, a skinny corridor, there's a wall here and an opening here. So what you want to do is by right clicking, you can set how many bounces you want on the recon arrow. So I will use one bounce and I'll shoot it full charge all the way down long. So it'll land somewhere back here and it'll spot anybody trying to walk up. And if you see anybody, then that's when you can also, you know, shoot a shock dart. Shoot a shock dart down here. If you see people, right? If you see them, if you hear them pushing up, this is some free damage you can get potentially. Because most of the other times, if you see people in direct line of sight, you don't want to have abilities, right? Did I solo queue to Valorant? Yes, I did. I exclusively solo queued to Valorant. I believe I got Valorant rank, I think the 4th day after rank came out. What's the best agent for me? It's really tough because at the end of the day, Valorant is still a team game. So the best agent for a team might not be like, you know, it might not be the one that I think of, you know. So if your team has like a Sage and a Brimstone, you guys have smokes and you have heals and slows, you might want some like information, right? So maybe a Cypher is really good. But then if you guys don't have any like aggressive characters with flashbangs, it might be tough getting to site. So that's where Breach and Phoenix come in really handy, right? Sova kind of a passive or aggressive agent, so it really depends on your playstyle, right? That's the beauty of Sova, is that he can be both. He can be passive or aggressive. If you want to be really passive, then you can shoot your recon dart, and then you can use your recon drone, for example, right? You can use your drone to check hookah and see if there's anybody here. And if there's nobody here, then you can like call for your team. It's like, hey guys, like there's nobody on B. I think it's gonna be an A hit. So they're gonna, you know, you can tell your teammates to stack A, you can tell your teammate to rotate off B and stuff. Will I be teaching any lineups today? Yeah, I'm gonna try to run through a few lineups that I have. What's the best buy for round 1 and 12? So me personally, so you start the round with $800 on pistol round, right? Me personally, I think the best buys are Ghost and Owl Drone. That's usually what I buy all the time. That's like my default. I'll start pistol round with a Ghost and an Owl Drone. Sometimes when I play with my team on certain maps, such as, it also depends if we're attacking or defending. Sometimes if we're attacking and I know that we're playing against the Cypher, I'm sure you guys have probably felt, you know, when Cypher puts up cages and traps everywhere, it might be really tough to get in. But one really nice tip about Sova is that, I wish there was someone actually here to help me show this, but if I were to shoot my shock dart, like if there, for example, was a Cypher trap like here and here, right, as you guys might have bumped into sometimes in game, if you were to shoot a shock dart at the trap, it will actually destroy the trap without you having to like without you having to be like right up next to it to see it. So if you have an idea of where like common Cypher spots are, then you can just pre-fire them with a shock dart, and then that means there's no trap to stop you guys, which means you guys can just run in for free, right? Do I think Raze is good for competitive? I think Raze is really good because of her potential to clear angles. So, you know, if there's people hiding in here, if there's people hiding in hookah, you know, with a shotgun or something, waiting for you to come, right? Like there's ways to clear them out. For example, you could shoot a recon arrow and see if they're there. You can use an owl drone, or you could use Raze. You could use her little, you could use the boom bot, and you could like bounce it off the wall to clear corners for you, right? So, for example, like a rollout I would do if we were attacking A, right? So this is where the spawn door happens. So what I would do, for example, to entry in the site, I would probably run out. I would shoot like a recon dart over here that bounces on the top of U-Haul. These are like really basic ones, right? So I would just like start the round like this. I would shoot a recon arrow and see if there's anybody playing aggressive angles, right? I'll see if there's anybody playing here. I'll see if there's anybody playing here. And if there is, then like you have the advantage, right? Or also, if you hear them shoot your recon dart, then that means there's danger here. So you shouldn't peek. You shouldn't like walk out with your knife out, right? You should have your gun out, ready to fight, because there's potentially somebody here. So then you could like clear these angles. If there's nobody here, you can push up, and then once you clear initial ground with your recon arrow, which is really important, right? Because you never know if there's somebody like waiting to cheese you. So instead of like peeking like this and risking dying for free, you can shoot a recon dart like I do here to make sure there's no immediate threats. And then when you push up, you can also use your drone, right? So you can drone into U-Haul and see if there's anybody here. If there's nobody here, then you can call for your team. Hey guys, there's nobody playing in U-Haul. It's safe to push, right? Or conversely, you could take flight, drone onto site. And you're like, hey guys, there's nobody outside bathroom. It's safe to push out. Or like, hey guys, there's one back site. Or hey guys, they shot my drone out. It's not safe. Or like, you know, it's like, this is why it's so strong to have this information for your team, because it enables pushes, right? Because at the end of the day, the goal is to get onto site and plant the bomb. Do I use music in ranked? No. So when I play ranked or competitively, I play with no music at all. Even when I play like casual games, most of the time I don't play with music because I prefer to like listen to in-game sound and stuff. Because music, like audio cues, are very important, right? How do you find the best sense? The best sensitivity is very subjective. Usually it's whatever you're comfortable with. The first thing you want to ask is, are you a wrist or an arm aimer? So what that means is, when you're holding your mouse, when you aim, are you moving your wrist predominantly, or do you aim with your whole hand? Like, are you moving your elbow, or are you moving only your wrist? So generally speaking, if you play with only your wrist, you want to find a higher sensitivity. So you want to start at a higher DPI, so like 800 or 1600. Generally speaking, for FPS games, I don't recommend going above 800. And then you can fine tune like the in-game sense later. And then if you aim with your arm, like if you do a lot of swiping movements, you want to go lower sensitivity. So you want to go like 400 DPI maybe. Is Sova better than Omen? It's really subjective. Like there's a lot of tier lists that are being put out there, but keep in mind that it is still a beta game. Like there still are agents and rebalances that are going to be coming in the future. So we don't know what like the real tier list looks like, but I can tell you later about some of like the team comps I've seen in like professional gameplay, right? Like we've played against Cloud9, we've played against Sentinels, Mouse Spaz. Like, I can tell you like what a lot of these higher tier teams tend to run. So without further ado, let's get into some lineups that I like to run. So depending on where you play on A or B site, right, there's a lot of really cool things you can do. Let's see if I remember this one. So for this, if I remember correctly, so if you're playing A site on bind defense and you want to check for your team if there is anybody B long, I think this is the right one. I might have to adjust this. So what you want to do is you can line up in the center of this square next to the brick right here behind the truck, and then you want to aim inside of this crack, this little triangle right here, And if you aim for the highest part, like as high as you can right in that corner, and shoot two charges,
revealing area,
where it should land, if I didn't mess that up, is B long. So it lands in the back of B long. So that means when you're playing A site, you can help your teammates on B, right? Like, that's really valuable information. If you shoot that across the map from A site and it's like, hey guys, there's 5 people B long, then you can rotate a player off of A to help B, right? What do you think, Sova or Cypher is better? I think that both characters are really, really good, honestly. It's hard to say who's better or who's worse. It's really like what your team needs, right? So like I said, I mean, I think Sova is a really, really, really strong character. How do you find the best crosshair? The best crosshair is the one that works for you, right? How do I put this? So some people prefer to play with a dot. Some people prefer to play with like just the basic crosshair like I have here. If you're a new player, if you're new to FPS games or like CS type games, like attack shooter in general, I would recommend having movement errors and firing errors on. Is it Rye or Ray? It's Rye, but it doesn't really matter. So by having movement errors on, you can see like when the crosshair is larger that you're inaccurate, and when you stop moving or counter strafe, that's when you become accurate. Chris, I see you, buddy. How you doing, man? So if you're new to these types of games, it's really beneficial to have movement error and firing error on, because when the crosshair is small, that's when you know you're accurate. So it helps you like build good habits, right? So, right? When the crosshair goes smaller, it's when you're accurate. And when you're moving, it's very inaccurate. And then most of the time, you just want to keep it like whatever you feel comfortable with, because you want to be aiming with your eyes, not really like aiming with your crosshair. And then, so that's one lineup, and I have a few other ones I can show you guys on this map. Why is Jet so useless to learn to team and lacks a lot on useful skills? The thing about Jet is that her smokes are really short, and she doesn't have a lot of like team, like she doesn't have a lot of stuff that benefits her team, which is why she isn't that strong in competitive play, or like in team play at least. So here's another lineup. If you go to A short, like from spawn right here on T side, you can climb on this box and climb into this corner, and you can aim right here. If you see this little leaf right here above the cactus, you'll notice that there's a small ridge right here, a big ridge, and then another small ridge. If you aim right in the middle of the small ridge and just instantly tap your recon bolt,
revealing area,
it'll shoot a bolt that lands on the satellite dish that will spot everything that's up close for you. So that's just another variation of this, where like, you know, I'll shoot this and I can spot, oh, that one's a little too far.
Revealing area.
That's just another variation of that, right? Basically, the goal of that is to see if there's anybody close. Another one that I do all the time, it's nothing really crazy, it's very basic, is that if my team wants to take bathroom control, if you want to fight for the objective orb here, I'll throw like a double bounce off the ground from a safe angle so I can't be shot, like this.
Revealing area.
I'll shoot that pretty low and behind them, so it's hard for people to shoot instantly. So usually I can get like 1 or 2 scans and see if there's anybody in bathroom. I'm trying to think of lineups, and keep in mind that most of the time when you're doing lineups and you're doing these like arrows, like there's always like rooms to learn, there's always like room to learn, right? There's always room to learn these arrows, but most of the time like something simple will just do the trick. There's just like shooting an arrow before you entry into hookah, for example, will be very beneficial. So here's another lineup that's really good, is that if you're in market and you come over here to this corner and you look for this corner of the brick, right? So you're 1, 2, gonna be 2 bricks from the corner, and it's gonna be this corner right here. You're gonna stand here, and then you're gonna look up, and if you notice right here in the opening, there's 2 dark colored bricks. There's one on the left and there's one on the right. And then if there's one, if you notice this little like wooden stick right here, there's a little jut out right there. If you want to aim anywhere in the brown brick, and then aim up so you're the same height as that little wooden jut out. And I believe if you shoot one charge, no bounce,
Revealing
like so,
area.
it will land inside of hookah. So if your team is like pushing up to hookah, and and you shoot this arrow for them, and as soon as it hits the ground, that's when you guys run in, then it's really strong, right? Also, like, instead of learning that lineup, if it's too much, you could also just do the same thing
Revealing
by just
area.
shooting this inside of hookah, right? Can I do one on raise? Yeah, I would love to do one on raise. Breach is better? Yes, breach is also really good for entering, but there's different characters have different roles, right? There's also, if you do 2 charges in a single bounce on this wall,
Revealing area.
depending on how high you put it, like, you can really put it anywhere. This one's kind of like a quick one. It'll land somewhere backside on B. So if you don't want to like peek out and risk getting shot somewhere
Revealing
just by doing
area.
that, you could just
Revealing
2
area.
charges, 1 bounce, and then when it lands, you can enter in the site. And then since I personally play B site, there's a few nice lineups here. And also, one thing you want to keep in mind is that you always want to have multiple lineups in the back of your pocket, because if you do the same one over and over and over again, like 6 rounds straight, then the enemy team is going to expect it. And if they shoot it before it can scan anybody, then that means you don't really get any value, right? So if you want to scan B long, you can just shoot an
Revealing
arrow
area.
off the wall. Or here's one that I like to do. If you want to stand on top of the sight box, and you come to this corner right here, and then here's where it gets kind of weird, right? If you see the charge bar, you see like the actual physical bar that shows the 1, 2, 3 charge. If you position the white lines in between the water cooler and the little like building jutting out right there, like that, if you do 1 charge and jump shot,
Revealing area.
it will land on the billboard, the spot belong. And then there's another one that I'll show. There's 2 more on this map, and then we'll probably do something else. So here, in the back of sight behind the Radianite crates, right? There's 1, 2, 3 lines on the wall. If you line up with the 3rd one, and then you look towards the water tank, if you aim for the little rusty spot right there, just crosshair on the rusty spot. If you do 1 bounce, full charge,
Revealing area.
this one will also land back here. So just like, different variations of the same arrow. And then keep in mind, so these are all going to be on VOD. You can go over them later, or you can also practice on your own. Can I do one on Phoenix? I would love to do a video on Phoenix at some point in time. Yeah, of course, guys. So here, there's 2 you can shoot from the back right side of the back right of the sight corner. If you sit in the back corner, like way in the very back, right? And then you aim for the corner of this building, and then you aim up so that your crosshair is at the same height. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be very precise, but around the same height as the corner of this building right here. So this 90 degrees. And you shoot 2 charges.
Revealing area.
This will, if I can get there in time. This one lands outside of bathrooms. So if your team wants to get aggressive in bathrooms, right, then you can peek out and they'll have x-ray of anybody that's here. And also, a thing you can keep in mind for bind, specifically only on bind, is where I think Sova is so strong, is that if you decide to play A site, you can sit over here and you can,
Deploying drone.
use your drone. And if you didn't know, you can use your drone through the teleporter, right? So if I want to see, it's like, hey guys, what's up? Anybody in hookah? And I'll call for my team, hey guys, there's nobody in hookah. They're probably all A. Then I can shoot an arrow from a safe angle, keep in mind. You never want to be peeking out in the open, because that's when you get shot in the face. You can shoot a safe arrow right here
Revealing area.
and see if there's anybody A short. And the same thing works on the other side of the map, right? Like, this is where Sova is really fun, because you can get really tricky with them. What I like to do is I like to sit on this corner right here, and I like
Take
to use
flight.
my drone, and I'll see if there's anybody long. I see that there's nobody long, so I'll go through the teleporter, and then I can actually check the outside of bathrooms for my team. Alright, and then one thing, so that's basically all of his recon darts on binds. I'll probably do an extended one where we do more lineups and stuff, but this is where, like, if you guys can just kind of have like an idea of how powerful this champion is, right? If you use your abilities at the right time, it's just so much potential, right? If you want to see if there's anybody pushing hookah from a really safe angle, you can sit in the backs, like you can sit right back here where you're completely safe from long and hookah. And if you notice, you can see the entrance that leads into hookah. So if you just want to aim at that, full power 2 bounces.
Revealing area.
It'll just bounce somewhere in the archway so you can see if there's anybody that wants to go into hookah, or you can just, you know, shoot this
area.
At the roof. You can shoot this
Revealing area.
octagon, see if there's anybody here. If you're playing an elbow, way back here, you can shoot
Revealing
this
area.
off the archway and see if there's anybody there. There's a lot of safety and information that can be gained from playing Sova efficiently and correctly, which will lead to like really big opportunities from your team, right? So things that you want to keep in mind is like, hey, like, do I hear anybody here, right? So it's like, hey, like, they've been coming B a lot. Like, do I think they're gonna be like are they gonna be coming B again? So it's like, hey, like, you know, maybe at the beginning of the round, we're gonna shoot an arrow and see if there's anybody here. It's like, okay, there's nobody here yet, so you know, we'll play safe, maybe wait a little bit. You know, we could also play aggressive. Since we know there's nobody here, you can play aggressive, see if there's anybody here. You know, you can grab the ulti orb, and then you want to back up, or you could push. But then like maybe like 30 or 40 seconds later into the round, if you want to check again, you can also
take flight
drone. And it's like, hey guys, there's nobody here still. We don't know where they are. And then, you know, you can wait like 10-20 more seconds, and it's like, hey, maybe we should wait, like maybe they're coming now. And then you'll shoot your second arrow of the round, and it's like, hey guys, they're all here, right? So timing your utility throughout the round is really important. Hey Rye, how come I legit never see you online on ProGuides? I probably just have bad timing. That's also personally on me. I go online to coach at like random times. I'll try to be online more frequently, and I'm also going to be doing a few more of these like live classes and stuff. So also one more closing tip on Sova, just in general, is that whenever you use this ulti, so if you guys didn't know, you get 3 charges on this ulti.
My ult is ready.
And if you look at the mini-map, you can see the range that it goes to. It goes through all walls. It's completely X-ray. So most of the time you don't want to use it completely blind. You want to get some information first. So if you recon dart and you see that there's a bunch of people and you can fire your ulti down long, you always want to reposition with every shot. But the most efficient way to get an ultimate kill, that's pretty much like 90% of the time a guaranteed kill, is that you want to use your recon drone. And then you want to, if you see a guy, if you press mouse 1 and your recon drone fires a little dart, similar to Cypher camera, that will give you X-ray vision on that guy for like 4 or 5 seconds. Like it blinks 3 times and then it goes away. And during that time, you can track his movements, right? So I can track him perfectly throughout the wall. So, for example, if I tagged him, then I can like track him as he's running away. And then it only takes 2 shots for it to kill, because each shot does 80 damage, right? So it's really great. I think this character is so strong. So there's a lot of like, once you master the fundamentals, like the basics of this character, like you don't have to get too crazy with lineups, right? Like if you just shoot an arrow over here,
revealing area,
even if you just do like basic things, it's still really beneficial to your team, right? And then when you learn like some of these crazy lineups, that just makes you an even better player that's even more valuable to your team, right? Like if you just want to
revealing area
just randomly and see if there's anybody B long. Can you play aggro with Sage? Generally speaking, you don't want to go aggro by yourself as Sage. You usually want to coordinate with your team, or you want to stay in the backline so you can, so you can put up your walls, you can heal your teammates and things like that. But generally speaking, you want to play a little safer. A lot of people get caught up with the lineups, but if you can just drop an arrow in a good position, do that. Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to think too much about like getting the perfect lineups, whatever, right? If you just do like a real quick,
area.
a quick 1-2, and it's like, hey, there's nobody left, so I don't have to look there. So I can focus on, you know, maybe there's a guy behind this box, or I can focus the guys on sight. So that about does it for this part of the lesson. So now we are going to move into the playing part. So I noticed we have a lot of people actually in chat. Do you guys want to play a game with me? Who's interested? We can either, if we have enough people interested, we can do like a 5-on-5 in-house, or we can just queue like unrated. Does anybody want to play? You guys can? Fantastic. Okay, so just to make it fair, it is server locked. Unfortunately, you have to be North American servers if you guys want to play. If you guys are EU or like anywhere in Asia, unfortunately it's not cross server. So I am NA. So if there's anybody on NA that wants to play, I'll accept the first 9 people. Or if, actually I can accept up to 11 because we can get some people that want to, if anyone wants to observe, right? So if you guys want to add me right now, I can tell you my Riot tag is orbit space Rai, R-A-I, and the tagline is 0001. So we have Dices, we have Uzon, I think Waz as well, and then Hudon. 0001. 3 zeros, 1 1, not 4. Bantam 69 420, sure thing. And Klita. Hit and run. Are you guys enjoying the game so far? What do you guys think about Valorant?
What's up, boys? What's up?
Libro NA1, sure thing, buddy.
Pro guy.
The maps get boring because there's only 3 maps. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. It's really fun because it's so different, right? Like I don't feel like we've had a game that's quite like this. It's like the way it plays, it feels really good. I honestly can't wait until they add new maps and agents. Round is cool. Looking forward for more maps. So am I, man. I suck at aiming. I lose every gunfight. Hey, man, don't lose. Don't get discouraged because your aim isn't that great. The best way to improve is, like, you know, just play the game. The more you play, the better you'll get. There's also other things you can play, like you can download like aim labs on Steam or something, and you can just like do drills every day to practice your aim. Also, finding the perfect sense for yourself, because everyone's different, right? Finding the right sense for you is also really important. I seem like a cool guy, dude. Any socials? Oh, I hate to plug myself, but you know, if you're gonna ask, twitter.com/Rai_OW. I don't really use Twitter that much. I'm just kind of messing around. So I have one more space. Can you be good on 45 FPS average? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's it will be pretty hard. Generally speaking, you want to have around like 100. Generally speaking. Rai, who's better, Cypher or Breach? Both are really, really great characters. It's really hard to put them like both against each other because they fill different roles, right? Cypher is really strong on defense and Breach is really strong on offense, right? Will we be posting this stream? Yes, the stream will be posted on ProGuides. It'll be available as a VOD, so if you guys want to go back and watch some of the stuff, feel free anytime, guys. Who would you call the worst agent currently? I don't know if there is a worst agent. They all have their really like specific things. Like a lot of people don't like Omen. A lot of people don't like Viper, but that's also because I don't think people really know how to play her yet. Like once you learn all these like really crazy lineups and stuff, it gets really they're gonna obviously get better, right? Okay, let's see if we can get one more person in here. Who is my favorite agent at the moment? So me personally, I am a Sova main. I played Sova all the way to get to Valorant. Also, but keep in mind that due to the nature of solo queue, sometimes you're not going to get the character you want, right? Just because of the way that solo queue works, sometimes you have to fill in. So sometimes I end up playing Sage, sometimes I end up playing Brimstone, you know. But personally, I just am absolutely in love with Sova. I think he's such a good character, and he's really, really strong if you put him in the right hands. What is my rank? My rank is currently Valorant. I'm currently the highest rank in the game. What am I doing, Raise? I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be like, but I'll try to cover most of the characters that I do play. You know, within the week. Like, so I think we're doing like roughly 2 a week, I think. Do we have enough people in here? How do you know when you're about to rank up? Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know if there is a way to... I mean, there's no real way to tell, right? I'm not really sure. Because, like, when you win or lose a game, it'll say, like, oh, like, rating increased or rating decreased. But it really just, like, depends. Also, Monarch, if you're still here, shout out to you, buddy. I saw you in chat. It won't let me add? It might be because my friends list is potentially full. Let me clear it out a little bit. You guys can try to add me again. There we go. Let's get Libro in here. So sorry, Libro. Unfortunately, the game actually filled up. You're welcome to spectate if you would like. What was your placement from the first 5 games? So I won 4 games and I lost 1, and I placed Diamond 1. Do you think Jet is difficult to use? I think Jet is very difficult to use. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Let's try it out. Omen guide? I'll do my best. I don't know if I don't play much Omen, but I have a pretty good grasp of his like defaults, like his like basic playstyle and stuff.
Wherever they run.
Most of the characters I play, so I play Brimstone, I play Sage, I play Cypher, I play Sova, and I play Raze. I dabble in Breach. I haven't played him a ton. How good do you know Brim? I do know a lot of good Brim stuff. Usually, so Brim is less about how to play him, and it's more about like when to play him, right? It's like when do I use my smokes? When do I use my molly? It's about timing more so than like it was like, oh, how do I smoke this? Because like, you know, after you get like a general grasp of the map, it's pretty easy to like figure out like which chokes you want to smoke off. Do you have tips on game sense? I will be doing a video exclusively on game sense at some point in time. I think we're going to cover that a little bit later because it's a little more advanced. But if you have, so little shout out to myself. If you guys have questions specifically that you want to ask me that I don't cover yet, I am a coach on ProGuides. So if you guys actually go onto the website, you can request me as a coach whenever I'm live. I'm happy to cover any issues you guys have, like specific questions if you guys want to improve your game sense. If you guys want personal coaching on how to play Phoenix or Viper or Omen or anything, I'm very happy to help. Let's get it, guys. I am going to turn the music off now because we are in game. guys. Let's get it. Let's go B. So here, I'm gonna utilize my hookah arrow. So I see my teammates walking up, right? So
Revealing
I'm gonna
area.
shoot my arrow into hookah to clear this for them.
Found them.
So now we know that there's a guy in the corner. It's a free kill. So do you see like why Sova is so strong? And now that my teammates are pushed up, I'm gonna come to this box
Deploying drone.
and I'm gonna drone for them.
For you. Trick shot.
So that guy is dead. I'm gonna clear sight for them. So I'm gonna go like, hey guys, sight is clear. There's one in the smoke. One in the smoke right here. So that guy's dead for free, right? Because I'm using my utility properly.
We're long, my bad.
So I just heard Omen TP as well,
Out
so I
of
know he's
charges.
somewhere in the team. Also, you'll have to excuse me. So for some reason, while I'm streaming, my game is like super laggy. I only have like 100 FPS right now. Is ProGuides free? I believe there are some free classes, but personal coaching is it is gonna cost
Revealing area.
something. It depends on the coach. Coaches have different
One
prices.
enemy remaining.
So we know the last one is hookah right here. Good job, guys. Nice. So do you see how by playing Sova right, I enable my team to push B, like pretty much for free, right? Because it's very possible that if I didn't shoot that arrow, then we possibly lose one person that's like hiding in hookah, right? Other team is gonna get destroyed. I wouldn't count on it. How much on a fly does personal coaching cost? So like I said, it really depends on the coach. Everyone costs like different. Each coach charges different prices. Generally speaking, they're somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. Generally speaking. Let's go B again, guys. So I know their Sova is here. Take a shot and arrow up. So I'm gonna drone in here and make sure my teammates don't get shortied. So they walled off hookah. I think they're pushing up B long. We should go check that. So here, I know there's a risk of them pushing, so I'm gonna arrow
Revealing
this
area.
wall. Nothing crazy, right? Just something very basic. So there's nobody on the left, so I'm just gonna look at the right.
Cool down and heal. Planting for long again.
So here's a situation
Shock
where I
dart.
can use a shock dart, because I'm like, oh, it's possible that they're rotating from
Shock
CT,
dart.
so I'm just gonna shoot some random shock darts out and try to get some info. Try to do some free damage. What game section am I? And the other coaches for Valorant in the ProGuides, CSGO? No, so if you actually click the drop-down menu and scroll down, there is actually a specific Valorant section.
One enemy remaining.
My game is very laggy for some reason. I've been having a lot of FPS issues ever since the patch. Anyone else?
Revealing
So my
area.
teammate told me that there's one in hookah.
There they are.
So I'll go ahead and give him X-ray vision with my recon dart. Why is there so much FPS drop in Valorant recently? I'm honestly not sure. So also one thing that I missed that I want to cover right now is that utility, like not utility, economy for Sova. Generally speaking, if you want to buy a gun and armor and you're not sure if you want to get shock bolts or owl drone, you pretty much, at least I think, you always want to go for owl drone. You want to get owl drone over shock bolts for sure. Also, here's another lineup that I skipped over. Where's that arrow? That is crazy. So here's one other lineup that I didn't show you guys on site. If you go B long and you hide in this corner right here, and you look on the sign Radiant Island, if you aim at the bottom of the N, you shoot a double charge, a full charge double bounce.
Revealing area.
You got the stage.
This
B.
one is gonna bounce all the way onto site, and we'll see if there's anyone on site.
Nice.
I have the
And also
spike.
another important thing on Sova is that you always want to grab ulti orbs whenever you can, because if you play properly and you combo your ulti with your drone, like I'll show you guys,
Planted.
having an ultimate basically means it's almost a guaranteed kill, almost. So I know that both of them are CT, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot
Revealing area.
CT. See if I spot them. I don't spot them, so I think they're pretty far back.
Deploying drone.
Yep, so they're pretty far back here. They're hanging out. So shoot
Shock dart.
shock bolt, because I have X-ray on this guy.
Shock dart.
I'll back up and play the bomb.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, sorry, he's coming from elbow. He's right here.
Right here.
Nice. What's the biggest problem you see noobs doing now with the aiming? The biggest problem, the biggest mistake, I don't want to say problem, the biggest mistake I think that people make and a low elo would be not using utility properly and running out dry, as you say. A lot of characters, like, so some characters can't do this. So for example, Sage doesn't really have any utility to peek by herself. But like a lot of people don't use utility properly. So if I'm Sova, instead of like peeking the corner
Revealing
dry,
area.
I can always shoot an arrow and check if there's anyone in the corner, right? So I know there's nobody in the corner.
Take flight.
And I know that potentially there's one in garden, and I don't know if I want to check it because he might have a shotgun. So I'm gonna do that, right? So now I know he's here. So there's one in long right now in garden to your left, guys.
Alright.
No chance.
So by doing that, I lessen the risk of me dying for free, right? So now I have my ultimate, but I don't have my Aldron, so I'm probably not gonna use this round.
Clean.
I blinked for a second.
Revealing area.
I'm gonna shoot my bolts into CT, see if they're in CT. So like, hey guys, they're not in CT. They're probably flanking.
Hold elbow.
So you see, that's the kind of stuff that you can help your team with, and this is the things that you want to be doing
Yeah, long.
to climb
Long.
solo queue, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a team game. You want to help
One
your team.
enemy remaining.
So if you can make the call, that's like, hey guys, they're not here, or if you can help your teammate like get kills and stuff by enabling them,
If we
then
go easy on
it's
them,
better for
they will
everyone,
never
right? Like,
learn.
I don't have to drop 30 or 40 kills to win this game. If I help my team, I'm being a great team player, and that's what this game is all about, right? So I think that Valorant is going to be a really great, really big game. Yeah, I think the competitive scene for Valorant is going to get really big. I think it's going to be great. I think it's by Riot, right? So I think it's pretty safe to assume that they're gonna do a lot of great stuff about like the competitive scene. I think that's gonna be great. Can you try and attack A next round? Sure. Hey guys, let's try to hit A. We've been going B a lot. So here, for example, right? I'm gonna shoot my arrow.
Revealing
See if
area.
there's anybody close. So there's one close right. So we're gonna push up. I'm gonna go to this
Deploying
box. I'm gonna
drone.
start my drone.
Joke's over! You're
He's
dead!
right here, guys. His body is right around the corner.
Them.
So there's one on top of the right box on bathrooms. Top right box. So that is a situation where you probably don't want to
You
pull
help her.
your recon bolt. I mean your shotgun.
One enemy remaining.
Because in that situation,
Revealing area.
there's always the risk that they are going to peek you again. It looks like he's going CT. Looks like he's walking to CT. Just to be safe, I'm gonna shoot a
Shot
shot
dart.
bolt, see if we can do some damage. If he's still in heaven. But most likely he's right here.
Here.
No, he went back to heaven, I think. Yep. Nice.
Keep taking this seriously, even if they aren't.
Some Sage tips. I do have a lot of Sage tips. It's gonna be hard to explain like verbally without being able to show you guys. So you guys probably have to wait until I do like a specific Sage video. Can I show my sense? Sure. So I play on, where is it? My sensitivity is 0.43. My DPI is 800, and my scope sensitivity is 0.92. And of course, I'm doing no mouse accel. I think it's called raw input in this one, or is it? There's a setting for like raw input somewhere.
Sit down!
Somewhere over here. Could I friend you in Valorant? Actually, I need to close my
Revealing area.
I need to empty out my friends list. Actually,
There they
see,
are.
so by shooting a recon ball, I see that there's 2 people here. I know that there's one
Shot that.
chilling back site.
Shot that.
And I know that there's actually quite a few back sites. So I'm always at the risk of a flame because I didn't see their jet. So I'm gonna go into the
coming through
bathroom.
you,
So
Ho.
they're both over there. So I'm gonna pull a flank maneuver right here and try to kill them both.
One enemy remaining.
But Sova, should you pick default pistol or ghost? I personally prefer the ghost and a recon drone. That's what I prefer. What can I do when I use my ultimate with Sova and someone gets close to you? You want to cancel it as soon as possible. Usually you just have to hit like the panic button, right? Because there's not much you can do. I saw someone ask if you prefer Vandal or Phantom for lower elo. I don't really know if it has to do with the elo. More about your... it's more about your preference. I will say for lower elo, it's probably better to use a Phantom because the spray for the Phantom is... like, it's easier to control a spray on a Phantom as opposed to a spray on a Vandal, right? So it's probably a little more beginner friendly.
Revealing area.
What about the competitive scene? The competitive scene is great. There's actually been a lot of like big tournaments and stuff already. It's been a whole lot of fun. I'm having a great time like competing in tournaments.
Take flight.
So right here, I'm gonna go for an ulti kill, I think, just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I know he's right here.
Buried.
And then I can use my X-ray to kill this guy. Then my last 2 shots, I'm just gonna shoot randomly in the CT spawn, see if they're there. I didn't see them, so I assume they're probably flanking because they flanked in the past. But I'm not 100% sure. So here's where more lineups come handy. Is when you can like, I was gonna shoot an arrow from like mid to help them out on site. And it's like, a lot of people are hating on this game. It's really tough because a lot of people don't play Counter-Strike. If you don't have any Counter-Strike, this game is very
One enemy remaining.
very different, you know what I mean? Is there peeker's advantage? Yes, there definitely is. They say that there isn't, or they try to limit it as much as possible, but that's just the nature of online games. It's really hard to like not have peeker's advantage.
Oh.
Do I have a Twitch? I do have a Twitch.
Who else is having a great time? Just me.
What do you do if your team pushes really quickly and you don't have
gutted.
time to use your utility? Most of the time, if your team just W keys into a site, you probably just want to follow them. On the other hand, you can also just communicate. It's like, hang on, guys, like, let me use my wall, or let me use my slow or something. Do you know how to get out of lower ranks? The best thing that I can do to help you guys get out of lower ranks is equip you guys with like really strong fundamentals. You know, I can teach you guys like game sense and like the basics, and then I can teach you guys common mistakes and things. And then you guys can use that information to improve yourself. So if you see right there, I basically just gave my teammates a free kill through smoke because
Revealing area.
I gave them pretty much
There
vision of
they are.
everything. So there's another guy backside right there, and I helped my Phoenix get another free kill,
Nowhere
right?
to run.
So I'm gonna go flank and show us Sova because I know the other 2 guys are in CT.
Stay down.
It is very tough playing on 80 FPS, I gotta tell you.
Yo.
What is my Twitch? My Twitch is
One enemy
twitch.tv/Rye_OW. You guys are free to follow me if you guys want. I've been streaming a little less frequently, but I stream like high tier scrims and stuff that I do every night. So he's gonna jump on top of this. He's gonna jump in the smoke, I think. Yep, he jumped on top of the box.
There can only be one hero.
Your game has been crashing since last patch? Ooh, I don't know anything about
Let's
that.
ruin their day.
You have a beast rig, but you have a 75 hertz monitor. Ooh, yeah, having a 144 hertz will you'll definitely feel the difference. What's the best way to tell when you should push into a site after a kill instead of falling back to a different site? So the best way to tell if you should push a site or not is usually you need information, right?
Eyes up.
You want to know, like, you need to have like how do I put this?
Revealing area.
So Valorant as a game and CS in general, I'm just gonna take a second to talk. This game is not all about aim. Obviously, aim will get you very far, but I can tell you right now that my aim isn't as good as a lot of the really good players out there. And I get really high ranks, and I bring a lot to my team by having game sense and being smart, making like smart decisions, and enabling my team to get crazy kills and stuff. Like, because for my team, I'm support / IGL. I make calls, I get information, and then I tell my team where to go, when to go. To have the best
player
chance of
standing.
success.
Our carrier's down.
Does high FPS matter? Yes. Having high FPS will definitely make a difference. Because I'm telling you right now, I am not having fun at 100 FPS. Because usually when I'm not streaming, I don't know what it is actually. Because generally when I stream on Twitch, I still get like 180 FPS. And when I'm not streaming, I get like 240. But right now I'm only getting like 100, if you can tell in my top left. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me try to put it on like a dark background. I'm only getting like 100 something, which is weird. Do you think Diamond is a high rank or the ranks are still settling? I think Diamond's a pretty high rank. You should be proud if you're Diamond. Diamond's a great rank to have.
The main showers.
So now, he doesn't have Sova ulti, but he might be pushing me. So
Revealing
I'm gonna
area.
shoot an arrow and leave. Oh shit, guys.
Yeah. Omen
Deploying
showers.
drone.
Like,
You can break the wall. We saw somebody here. So I have recon in
Backside in copy.
2 seconds.
Revealing area.
Joke's over!
Found
You're
him.
dead!
Down the spike.
I am really lagging, dude.
3 gone.
T-shirt.
Last player standing.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm like super laggy. Can I lower the game music? It's difficult to hear you? Sure. I think the Spectre is kind of bad. It's not the best weapon. It's pretty... It's not the great at so here's the thing you want to consider when you have a Spectre, right? When you have a Spectre, you want to be playing close range because you're going to really struggle with like long range battles. Because at range, it takes like 3 headshots to kill somebody. Any plans for going pro yourself? I'm not sure. I have been playing competitively under Orbit, which is an organization. We're competing in tournaments and stuff. It's pretty hard to say because we're really early in the beta phase still. Like the full game's not even out yet, so you know, we'll have to see. Spectre or Ares after the latest patch? Honestly, I still like the I still really like the Spectre. But a lot of people have been running the Ares, which I also totally respect.
Deploying drone.
There's 2 people backside, so here's what I'm gonna do.
Heads up!
Enemy
They're
down.
both dead. Their
Revealing
Sova
area.
is still long somewhere.
Alright. TP. Nothing inside. Backside. CT.
One enemy remaining.
Message sent.
Wait, where'd the Sage go? She was just here. Oh, she's in TP. Just for fun? Just for memes? Gonna see if we can tag this guy. Hey! Can Sova's drone be flashed? Yes, Sova's drone can be flashed and stunned and everything.
Last round in the half.
If you saved,
When
spend
using
it.
Omen, should I get Judge and TP to enemy spawn? Probably not. Generally speaking, when you're playing Omen, you want to avoid teleporting into the enemy spawn because if you do, you're probably gonna die.
Oh.
Because most of the time, like, they expect you to be in their spawn, so everyone's gonna turn around and just kill you. How do you know when to rotate different sites? It's really hard to like
Begin,
summarize
Sova.
into like a short answer, so I'll probably have to do like a whole video on that. How am I doing? I'm doing great, Joey. How are you? Ooh, so we know they have an offer. So here's what I'm
Take
gonna do.
flight.
I'm gonna
Got the spike.
find this guy.
Your duty
Revealing
is not
area.
over.
There they are.
Can you show a sick recon on a bind? On a bind? Sure, man.
Molly.
Do you think this map is T or CT side? So I think that bind is very equal. I think that bind is a 6-6 kind of
Last
map.
player standing.
I think that split.
is killed.
So split previously
Fires
before they
out.
made the changes was like an 8-4 kind of map, like 8 T side, 4 CT side kind of thing. I mean, sorry, 8 CT, 4 T side, like very heavily CT sided. I think it still is after the changes. It's hard to say. And Haven is also pretty equal, but Haven seems to
Planted the
be
spike.
more CT sided as well. Maybe like a 7-5.
No more charges left.
What is your least favorite of the maps? Splits. Split is probably the least favorite. Vandal or Phantom? Vandal or Phantom? Depends on my mood. Depends on my mood. It's like some days I have a Vandal day, some days I have a Phantom day, you know? Best 5 characters that make an OP team. So it depends on what people play, but so this is what my team
Switching
runs.
sides.
We have Cypher, Sova, Breach, Sage, and Brimstone. Those are my 5. Like I think that's what we think is our like ideal kind of lineup. Just switch to Warzone. Valorant too buggy now. They're working at a pretty fast pace to like fix things. Can you show me arrow spots on Split or Haven? Sure. Or I'll probably do a video specifically on like Sova arrow lineups. I'll try to do like as many arrows as I can. Have I played Breach before? I do. I have played Breach before. What GPU do I have? I have a 1080 Ti. So here's a good time to do my
Revealing area.
B long arrow. Let's see where that lands.
Smoke they short.
So I know that there seems to be a lot of them B.
Found
My
them.
arrow tagged 2 of them. So I'm gonna
flight.
send my drone through the TP and see how many of them are hookah.
There they are.
They're all B. Let's rotate, guys.
Alright.
Well, it seems like they're slowing down.
Kings is leaving hookah.
I'm gonna arrow short. Oh. Nope, they're coming. Let's go, boys.
Alright, spike's on. Spike's on.
That's a great arrow.
Unavoidable.
Revealing
So I
area.
know there's a bunch of people in hookah, so I'm gonna give my
Found
team all hats.
One enemy remaining.
So do you see how strong this character is when you use his utility properly? I have 11 assists right now, and they're mostly not from like shooting people. So I have 11 assists pretty much from
Flawless.
just helping my team, giving them like recon arrows and X-ray, right? I see that you rotate towards your own team. Why not rotate behind them so they cannot rotate? So in a situation like that, you don't want to push because why? It was a 5-on-5. Everybody was still alive. If I were to rotate behind them and the rest of my team goes from CT to B site, it's kind of hard. I kind of want to draw this on a map. But if I flank them and my team leaves A site and I die, that means they
Let us
get
hunt.
A site for free. Does that make sense? So like if the flanker dies, then like the floodgates kind of open and they're like, hey guys, the flanker died. Let's go rotate to the other site. So that kind of answers the question as to like when should you rotate to the other site. Like a really good indication of when you should leave is like when you kill a flanker, because generally speaking, when you kill a flanker, that means that the rest of the team has like rotated off to stack the other site. So if you manage to catch their flanker off guard, that's usually a good time to rotate. So here I have a strong
Revealing area.
suspicion that there's 1 or 2 guys
There
in
they are.
bathroom. Yep, so Sova's right there. The Omen is unknown. Just guessing, I think he's like hanging
Right
around
here.
like here or here, like
Deploying
right around those
drone.
2 spots. He could be also in this right cubby down here. Nope. Oh no, so I was right. He's back left. So both of them are outside bathrooms. So what should I do here? So both my teammates are here. The wall is still up. I'm gonna actually teleport and get a position behind them to kind of like lock them into spawn.
30 seconds left.
There's a high chance that... Actually, no. Let's see if we get timing here. Let's see if they actually go market to B. It's very unlikely.
One enemy remaining.
So while I'm
Spike
here,
planted.
just a nice little lineup. If you want to stand on top of this box in T-spawn right here, and you aim towards this building right here, if you notice there's like 1, 2, 3 little bars. If you aim between the first two and do
Revealing
one
area.
charge, this lands on the back of A site.
I'll
Sorry,
teach them to
so you guys don't get to
respect
see
their
land.
elders.
But there's tons of lineups like everywhere, all over the map. How am I doing in quarantine? I'm doing all right. You know, same as everyone else. Trying to keep myself busy. Not exercising, unfortunately. Trying to eat, but, you know, a lot of carry out. You know how it is. Who are my top 3 agents? I think that Sova, Reach, and Sage are the 3 strongest agents.
Revealing area.
I wouldn't necessarily say that Brimstone is strong, but Brimstone is definitely a necessity to have on a team. Uh-oh. So, my teammate just got picked off, so
A short.
I'm gonna rotate.
Sova's one time.
See if I can get my... Oh, it's a Spectre. Oh.
Deploying drone.
So I'm gonna drone from a safe position to see if I can find these guys. You can see their jet. You can see there's 3 of them A short.
Revealing area.
Still here, so...
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Is Vandal now better after the patch, or is it still personal preference? I personally think it's still a preference. Love your beanie. You look badass. Thanks, man. It's more of a hiding my scuffed quarantine hair kind of thing, but I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. So now is a situation where I want to flank, because
30 seconds left.
in that situation, it's pretty safe to assume that most of their team is towards the B site. So if you can get a nice flank, get information for my 8 players,
One
like, hey
enemy
guys, like,
remaining.
there's nobody here, they're all on the other side of the map, and you know, it's very beneficial. There's like, it's all about timing, like, knowing like, when to do
10
stuff.
seconds left.
So unfortunately, they don't
Last
get the
player
kill, but, yeah.
standing.
Doesn't have time. Nice.
Teach us Phoenix, my guy. I will be happy to do a Phoenix video sometime in the future.
Match point.
But
Their
that being
winter
said, we
has
do
come.
do all of our
Ready
videos
them.
on a schedule, so I guess you guys have the next episode to look forward to. Actually, real quick, what do you guys want to see next? So I think the next episode we're going to do is going to be on Thursday at around the same time. Do you guys have a topic you would like me to cover or a specific character? Let me just see in chat real quick what you guys want to see.
Revealing area. Take flight.
So here I'm going to
Phoenix
drone through
below.
bathrooms and see if there's anybody here. I see that
They're
there
breaking my wall A
is
short.
one Sage kind of hanging out. I can assume she's going to peek this again, so I'm actually going to challenge this.
Die.
HP, man. A short.
Bullseye.
I think Sova's right here.
Oh, yeah. Revealing area. There they are.
One enemy remaining.
Now point.
Nice.
Defenders win.
GG's.
GG, boys. That was actually a really tough game considering my lag. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. So, Omen, Breach, Viper, Sage, Raze. Lots of Breach. Crosshair placement. That's a pretty big one. How to solo carry. True. Would you suggest moving minimap or stable minimap? I would suggest moving just because it's a little less disorienting. For some reason, for me personally, I find the moving minimap to be pretty disorienting. I'm gonna try to cover as many of the heroes as I can. I wanna make sure I cover the ones that I actually have a lot of knowledge on. So let's see. I'm gonna remake the lobby. I'm gonna actually spectate you guys play. Yeah, I want to spectate you guys, and maybe we can do some tips. You know, just some like game sense kind of things. So if anyone wants to play again, you can add me. I'm gonna try to clear up some space on my friends list. Hang on. I just have a lot of people added from League of Legends and just from like from a variety of things actually. So give me 1 sec to like clear some things out from people I haven't talked to in years actually. So we can take this time to have you guys join and play an in-house. We can also take this time to talk about some more things. Can I join? Yeah, of course. If you want to join, you can add me. My tag is OrbitRai0001. ORBIT space RAI 0001. I'm in the NA region. So if you're on EU, unfortunately, you cannot play with us. Unfortunately. Until they add cross-region stuff. So we have one more spot. Does anyone else want to join? Okay, I friend you. What is my tagline? 0001. Orbit Rai 0001. At what time will the session end? Roughly in around like 30 minutes. One game I had 1.9 KD. The next game I had a 0.38. It happens. That's just like the inconsistency stuff. But you know, if you ever want like coaching and stuff, I can help you pick out like the errors and tell you why possibly that you're having these problems. Bob. Where is Bob? There we go. So we are full for now. I think we're gonna run Haven with cheats on. Let's go, guys. I'm just gonna probably spectate and give some like general like gameplay tips and stuff. I've been saying that I'm waiting to see you online on ProGuides because I have 2,000 points just for that. I actually sent you a message back. I'm pretty sure I replied. I'm not sure if you saw it yet, if you haven't been on the website. But I did reply to your message. I saw your message, your private message, LGS. Would you recommend switching agents if you're a Jet main? No, not necessarily. Because here's the thing, right? The thing about a video game is that you should be playing the character you have the most fun on. But at the same time, if you want to climb ranked, you should be considerate to your teammates. If you guys are missing smokes and stuff, then you should probably play a character with smokes if you want to climb solo queue, right? Because that's what I had to do. Like, I only want to play Sova. But sometimes, when I play these ranked games, like, people lock, like, Raze, they lock, like, whatever, they lock all these characters. And we're just like, oh, like, what character will be best, will give us the best chance for our team to win? So, like, sometimes I have to play Brimstone because we have no smokes. And sometimes I have to play Sage because we have no Sage, right?
I will soothe this turmoil with fire.
Can I join? So unfortunately, like probably after this match, I'm not sure if we'll have time for another one. So if you want to play with us or me in particular, we will be doing another class on Thursday at the same time. I don't see anything for Valorant on the website. How do I get a coach? So if you actually go into ProGuides.com and you look on the Play with Pros on the right side of the screen, you hit the drop down bar, you'll see that there is a Valorant section where all of our Valorant coaches are. And that's where you can catch me sometimes if you guys want some extra tips and stuff. Oops, apologies. I was alt-tabbed. So I'm gonna try to give some tips here on like everybody. I'm gonna try to give at least like one tip for each player. Please don't take these personally. I just want to, you know, try to improve you guys and just give you guys a general idea of like what people are doing right or what people are doing wrong, right? So here we see that they're pushing in, but you see on the map right now there's a brimstone on the right, and there's a potential that they're gonna die to this guy if they don't check him. I think they will. So that's also another mistake I see from a lot of players, not even specifically just low elo or low rank players, but from everybody, is that you always want to check your corners, because you never know if there's a guy sitting in the corner, right? And in the event that this guy has, you know, an Odin or whatever, a Vandal, and he's sitting in the corner and he lets 3 of you guys by, and he gets a Twitter clip for trigger discipline or whatever, you know, you don't want that to happen, right? So you always want to check your corners. And the most important time to check corners, I have to say, is on eco rounds. Now, if you guys haven't played CS before and you don't know what an eco round is, basically, when you start the match 0-0, or when you start the new half, you start off at pistol round and you start with $800, right? And that means that the only guns that you can afford are pistols and some utility. So after you win the round, you get a round bonus. And if you lose the round, you get significantly less money. So when you win the round, generally speaking, you can buy an Ares or you can buy an SMG. That gives you an advantage because the enemy team can only afford pistols or an SMG without armor, right? So when you're on the second round, generally speaking, you don't want to go for this SMG no armor play because most likely you're gonna die. So that's what it's called an eco round. So usually you want to spend like $200 on a shorty, or you can keep a classic, or you can, you know, if you got a few kills or you got a bomb plant, you can buy a ghost or a sheriff. So these rounds are really scary. So you always want to check the economy of the enemy team to make sure they're not on an eco round, because if they're on an eco round, you can assume they're going to play like close corners with shotguns, or they're going to go for really aggressive like 5-man pushes. So those are the rounds that you have to be very aware that, hey, like this is our YOLO round, right? This is where we send 2 people or 3 people to hide inside of garage. So right now these guys are doing a really great job of like keeping their distance, right? So if we look at our Raze, she is 34 health, she has a ghost, right? So if you play long range, you have the armor advantage, you have the gun advantage. Generally speaking, you're gonna win that fight, right? When should you go eco? You want to go eco whenever you lose. How do I put this? What's the best way to put it? This is pre-recorded? No, this is live, Mr. Nobody. How you doing today, buddy? You want to go eco after... You want to go eco when you can't afford a rifle, armor, and utility, if that makes sense. Generally speaking, if you want to look at like money-wise, it's usually if you're under 4,000, you want to eco. And sometimes when you want to force is when you're hovering around like the 35, anywhere from 35 to like 4,000 range. Like if you can buy a Vandal or a Phantom or even a Bulldog, if you can afford a Bulldog and heavy armor or a Bulldog and light armor, that's like a force buy, right? But generally speaking, if you can't buy a Vandal and armor and utility, then you don't want to buy it all. What CPU do I have? I have an i7 8700K. So it looks like these guys are doing a really great job of like rotating on the map, if you can tell. Like they're doing a great job of finding out what players are. They are rotating a little bit early. If you guys can tell, like there's always the chance that somebody could walk through a site because they leave it completely, right? What is better, shift or crouch shot? Both are situational. Generally speaking, crouch shot is not as advantageous because you will most of the time end up crouching into a headshot. What can I do to improve my aim? The first thing you can do is finding a sensitivity that's comfortable for you, and also finding a crosshair that isn't too intrusive, that works for you. So if I were to scroll through all these players, I can tell you guys
Joke's
that
over! You're dead!
everyone has a different crosshair, right? So this guy has he's a bigger crosshair than, for example, Vision. Looks like Dice is just popping off here. Great push from Dices. So I have a 1080 Ti for a GPU, an i7 and 8700K as a CPU. These guys are just playing a really great game. So you see our Jet and our Brim are doubled up. So this is something that happens, this is something that you're going to see a lot in professional play, that comes up a lot, is the buddy system, if you will. And basically what happens is, whenever you push something, like if you want to push A long, or if you want to push A short, or if you want to push mid, you want to have a buddy with you. Because if you die, then you have somebody else with there that can also trade frag. What is the average DPI? I would say the average DPI in CS is probably 800 DPI. And I teach you guys to peek using A and D. Counter strafing is a whole different monster that I'll have to tackle in a different video. What rank am I in Valorant? I am currently Valorant rank.
Smoke's down.
So this guy did a great aggressive smoke. If I can find the right person. So it looks like they rotated off, but if you look on the map, actually,
Fire in the hole!
you can tell that. So the brimstone smoked off really, really deep A, which makes it scary because they're like, oh, like if this is smoked off, then there could be someone close by, right? So it's gonna be really scary. They're not gonna want to push through that. Do I have a team for playing in ranked? No, I exclusively solo queue. Sometimes I duo queue with like friends and stuff, but most of the time I got my Valorant rank by solo queuing exclusively. And it wasn't easy, man. I gotta tell you. I had to win 7 games in a row when I was in Immortal 3 to get ranked up. It was a struggle. Can I see crosshair settings? I'll show you guys after this game. I'd be happy to show you guys after this game. My sensitivity is 800 DPI, 0.43. So Phantom looks like he's stuck in an unfortunate situation. 1v5, bomb planted. Looks like he's just gonna try to save his gun. There's not much you can do at this point. What agent did I play in solo queue? I'm a Sova main, but I try to play whatever my team needs. And usually that ends up looking like Brimstone or Cypher or Sage. Have I ever raged in Valorant? I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I'd be lying if I said I've never raged in Valorant. Does duo queue help you rank up faster? Not necessarily. If you have a really reliable duo partner that you know is like pretty good or like around your same level, then like it's really beneficial to play with them because you can both improve and you guys can play off each other, right?
Revealing area.
And you also have to keep in mind that generally, like for solo queue, half the battle is teammates. Like you're not always gonna get the best teammates in the world, right?
Shock dart. Shock dart.
So this guy's shooting some great shock darts on the site. So that little arc is to hit anybody planning like default. That's a great shock dart. And this guy's doing a great job of using his recon drone to entry into sight, to clear angles, right? So here he's gonna try to get a free kill. He ends up lining up 2. Let's see if he can get this other guy in the corner. Wow, what a great ulti from Phantom.
Revealing area.
Great recon bolt. So he sees both. See, do you see why I say Sova is so strong? This guy used this utility perfectly. He got 2 kills with his ultimate, and using his recon bolt in the perfect spot, he spots the last 2 players, and he's able to 1v4. If there was any other agent, you would have to run in there and shoot them manually, but by using Sova's strengths at the right time, you can make these plays all the time. Like I do like 1v4, 1v5s, 1v3s like all the time. What a great play. So that's just like the potential of what like playing Sova properly looks like, right? Just by doing that, you can like significantly improve your play. If you plan on playing Sova at least. Like Sova's not for everybody. what
Revealing
rank did I get
area.
after the first 5 games? I went 4-1, 4 wins, 1 loss, and I placed in Diamond 1. Can you make a video how to take control? I can try my best. That's a bit of a tougher subject to cover, but we'll definitely cover like a lot of these specific things. Would you make a guide for Cypher also? Yeah, I'd be happy to. Ooh, so he gets caught off. It's caught off guard. So currently in a 2v1 situation. Let's see what they do with this. So Brimstone hears the Omen like in garage. Let's see if they actually communicate that. But they have the bomb down, so they're playing it smart. They're playing for the bomb, right? You always want to play for the objective, because like you can win the round by killing 5 people, right? Yes, you can. But the main point, for the most part, you want to be playing for the objective, right? You want to play for the bomb defuse, or you want to play for the bomb plant. What synergies with Sova? Really, anything synergies with Sova. I think Sova and Breach, they synergize really, really well, because by clearing angles with Sova and getting information if there's anybody there, you can use Breach to either push them out of the corner, or you can flash them and push them and get the free kill. How do you attack in general? Just go as far as split the map.
Sky.
I personally prefer, like my team, we usually go for the default, and by default, what that means is you want to spread around the map and look for like information, right? Let's see if they're like their A site is pretty weak because they don't have any strong utility. Or it's like, hey, maybe we get a pick on the B site, so let's go B. Have I heard about the new leaked vampire agent? I have heard a few things about it. I'm not really too sure. I'll just wait until she actually comes out. Looks like fun though. What's my favorite class in Valorant? Personally, Sova is my favorite class at the moment. Although I will say that Raze is a whole lot of fun. Raze is so much fun, dude. Raze is my guilty pleasure agent, for sure.
Keep them out.
Let's check out Dices. Dices has been playing really well. He's been doing a lot of like really smart aggression. And also, another thing you guys want to keep in mind is that you want to keep track of ulti economy, right? So if you just hit tab, or if you look on the top of your screen, you can tell who on the enemy team has the ultimate ready. So if you ever see a Sova with their ultimate up, you want to run from their recon drone, because you know that if he tags you, he's gonna try to ult you. So if you see that their Sova has their ulti available and he uses his recon drone, you want to do everything in your power to not get hit by that. So another great recon arrow down mid to spot 2 people. That was Phantom, so he knows exactly where these 2 players are, which gives him an
Neutralized.
advantage, right? That guy is stuck in the corner. He has no play there.
Satchel out.
Vandal or Phantom? It depends on the day. Sometimes I like the Vandal, sometimes I like the Phantom. Generally speaking, I prefer the Vandal because I like the one-tap at longer ranges. It also depends on the map. You want to keep that in mind. So, for example, if you're playing on this map where you can challenge someone all the way down C long, like where this guy is right now, or all the way down A long, like a lot of these angles are longer. So you want to take something that will guarantee you the one-tap headshot, right? At least that's what I prefer. Thoughts on Raze and comp? I think she's really strong. I think Raze is a really strong agent. He has a lot of potential that can open up opportunities for her team and get picks. Not to mention her ult is a bazooka. So this is also, if you look at this, like if you guys don't know, this is kind of like the default defense, like the CT hold on Haven. Generally speaking, you want to have 2 people on A, because A is the hardest site to retake.
Joke's over.
Then you want to have 1 B, 1 garage, 1 C. That's like a pretty like generalized kind of CT hold. So we see that they have information that the other team like is pushing up mid, I think. and the Brim actually scopes down A and doesn't see anybody. So, but here's the thing. Let's see if Strawberry can make a play here. So A side is completely open right now. Strawberry has a big flank. Let's see if he can pull anything off.
Fire in the hole!
Waz with the 3K. Ooh, gets caught off guard by Vision. See, that's the thing about rotating early, is that you expose yourself to the dangers of a lurker. And a lurker, what a lurker's job is basically to find openings in the defense cracks, like to find cracks in the armor, like sneak in and go for sites when they know that people have rotated off, right? So Strawberry was going for a really big play. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off, but he had the right idea. What's my favorite map? I personally, favorite to least favorite, I would probably go Bind is my favorite, then Haven, and then I think Split least favorite, probably by a lot. Did I show my crosshair? No, not yet. Rona? Please, no. Give me 1 second, guys. I actually have to alt tab really quick. What do I think about Cypher? I think that Cypher is super, super strong, although I will say that the recent nerf has hit him pretty hard. Before, when you're playing Cypher, it was really easy to hold the site down completely by yourself because of the way your traps work. Like, when you step into a cage, it slows you down by a lot. But they removed the slow, so it's a lot easier to just barrel through a site, through the traps and stuff. But he's still a really strong character just because of the amount of utility he has. So like I keep saying, like, information is the most valuable asset in this game. Like, aim and everything is important, like having like explosives is cool and all, and smokes, but having information is very important. Will there be more streams with other characters like Breach, Brimstone, Sage, Phoenix, and Cypher? Yes, I'm gonna try to cover as many characters as I can. We're not sure what character we're going to cover in the next episode, which is going to be on Thursday, but we're going to try to get through as many as we can, and then we're going to move on to some pretty advanced stuff like game sense and map rotations, as well as team compositions and stuff. And also, I think I'm going to do a video exclusively on how to climb solo queue. Because I think that's something that a lot of people are going to be interested in, is like climbing the solo queue ladder, right? Because that's what it's all about. Let's see if actually the Sova... Ooh, Phantom does not foresee the Omen pushing through garage. Gets caught off guard. So it's looking pretty good for the T side. 5v2 right now. What kind of Asian am I? I am Chinese. Do I have any other mains besides Sova? So I play a lot of Brimstone and Sage. I used to main... I wouldn't say I used to main Raze. I just had a lot of fun playing Raze in like unrated, just because it was really satisfying to get like bazooka kills and stuff. Nice, a 4K from the Omen. Really good play. So the problem with this map, especially, is since the map is so split up, as you can tell. So like, just for example, right, as opposed to Bind, where there's an A site and there's a B site, right? It's harder on Haven if you're not a coordinated offense, because actually no, because naturally people want to split up on offense, right? So you're gonna send some people C, you're gonna send some people B, you're gonna send some people A, right? But the thing is, there's 3 sites, so naturally the defense is gonna be spread out more thin. So if they were, for example, to just like 5-man barrel into A, I'm pretty sure they would have a lot of success on the T side. Because right now they're splitting up and they're going everywhere all over the map, trying to get like picks and stuff, and it's not really working out for them. But At most, they put like 2 people on A, so if they were to just 5-man slam onto A site, they would probably have a lot of success.
Cover going out.
Something you guys want to keep in mind for your Haven maps too.
Nowhere to run!
If you're playing Haven,
You will not kill my allies!
you want to try to focus on slamming one site with as many people as you can, because there's 3 sites, so that means that the defense is going to be spread pretty thin, right?
Get out of my way!
Ooh, Omen goes for a sneaky play. Teleports with the bomb to C.
Spike planted.
Am I a computer geek? Because I am not that much, really. I'm not that much of a computer geek. I needed a lot of help building my first computer, actually. And hopefully, I'm saving up to get a streaming PC because I want to stream more often. I really do. Because I love streaming so much. But the problem is, like, whenever I stream, I lose a good amount of frames, especially when I'm playing at a really high level. Every frame counts, right? So Omen's playing this really, really well. He's playing for the bomb plant. So he planted 4 long, and he backs all the way up long. And his goal is to kill the bomb diffuser, right? Because it's objective based. As long as you can stop the guy from defusing the bomb, that means you win the round. So really smart play. Unfortunately, he has a Spectre. That's not really too great at long ranges, but he had a great idea. You're grinding to unlock Breach now. Breach is such a strong character. I think you're gonna love him, man. I think Breach is S tier, like super, super S tier. He is so good. Ooh, so it looks like Phantom's got some sneaky lineups of his own. How to fly up with drone? If you hold spacebar while you're flying with your drone, it'll send your drone upwards. Keep in mind it is kind of buggy. Sometimes it doesn't go as high as you think it will. Like sometimes it only it evens out at like a certain height.
Revealing area.
Rank system busted AF. Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about the rank system. I personally find it to be okay. I enjoy the fact that the rank system rewards like good play. It'll give you more points, or like bad play. It'll give you like it'll take away more points.
Spike
So
planted.
it's really up to you to. Looking kind of scary here. So the Jet has a really good flank here. Going for a really big play. Gets turned on. Unlucky. He had the right idea. He was going for a trigger discipline play. That's why it's really important to check your corners, right? So they pushed 5 up A long, but they had nobody A short. And nobody cleared it. There was a guy hiding there the whole time. There was actually 2 hiding there. They killed 1, but the second guy was there too. Iron 1, do you have any tips to get out? Work on brushing up your fundamentals. I will say that if you watch a few of these like broadcasts, I'm going to cover a lot of topics that will be very beneficial. If you like go through some of the fundamental curriculums that we're going to be rolling out soon, you will be able to apply these to your own gameplay, and hopefully you can critically think about like, hey, like why did this push not work out for me? Or like, hey, why did I die here? Or like, hey, maybe I should have done this instead. And these are the things that you need to equip you with so you can climb on your own, right? So here, Omen made it to the corner. Let's see if they check it. They don't clear the corner. And he gets a free kill. Let's see if he can get more. Almost kills the Sage. He's in a pretty shit right now. So that's why it's really important to always check all your corners. And that's why Sova is strong, because you don't have to physically peek out to clear that corner. You can use your drone or you can use your recon arrow to clear that corner for you. Tough situation. A 3v3 it looks like. Actually no, sorry, a 2v3. 2v3 retake. Unfortunate. Not much he could have done about that with the gun he had. Ooh, looks like he's gonna get caught out by Waz. Great push from the T side. Do you know how to unlock your second agent? So you get 2 free agent unlocks. If you play the game enough, once you hit level 10 in like the beta level thing, you'll be able to unlock a second agent for free. And Then if you want to unlock your 3rd, 4th, or 5th, you can start a contract. And by playing games, you get EXP, which will fill out the contract. And once you hit level 5, you will get the character unlocked for free. Alternatively, you can also pay for it. I probably would not recommend that. I would just play the game and unlock it for free unless you really want that character. Did you use Viper's ult to lock down one area on defense? Yeah. You can always just like on one round in particular, you can just be like A site is closed and just like ulti it off at the start of the round, right? Is it smart to check corners by using shock darts? Yes, absolutely. If you're ever not sure if there's someone hiding in a corner and you don't have recon, or if you don't have recon bolts or the drone available, it's always safe to just throw a shock dart. Great push from the T side.
Taken out. Revealing area. There they are.
Ooh! Oh my goodness! Who's on with the 4K? Let's go, dude! Can he clutch 1v5? Oh my god. It's winnable. Goes for the tap, looking for the last player. Oh, so close, man. You're trying to knife him? Yeah, I can tell. It was funny. GG, guys. Everyone was playing super well. Phantom, your Sova is pretty clean, man. Your Sova is pretty clean. Okay, so that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. That's going to be the end of the lesson. We are doing one more of these on Thursday, the topic of which is not decided yet. You could probably find out on our website or just tune in around the same time on Thursday. Have I been getting frame drops? Yes, I have been getting a ton of frame drops. I don't know why. It's honestly super annoying. So we will be doing more of these episodes throughout the week, probably 2, maybe more. We'll have to see. If you ever want individual coaching, if you want to have like me spectate your games, or if you want to go over your VODs and get like really in-depth kind of review on your gameplay and you want to improve, you can always go to ProGuides.com and look for me in the Valorant coaching section. If you want to follow me personally, my socials are twitter.com /Rye_OW. That is my Twitter. My Twitch is the same. It is Rye_OW. I stream pretty frequently. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by, come ask and stream, or drop me a message on Twitch. Crosshair settings? Yeah, sure. So this is my crosshair. It's just really small, green. I have all the outlines and the outer lines turned off. The inner lines are 1, 5, 2, 2, and then movement error and firing error is off and off. Is Valorant coaching free? We will eventually be having free settings, but we will be doing so for example, these are going to be free sessions, but if you want personalized individual coaching, it is going to cost you around like $10 to $20 per session. Okay guys, thank you so much. That is going to be it for today. Once again, my name is Rye. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your quarantine day. Take it easy.